In the hushed Belgian suburb of Drongen, where mist clings to morning grass and time moves a little slower than in the cities, a boy was already awake. Not to watch cartoons, not to play video games, but to train. Not because someone told him to. He simply couldn't sit still when there was a ball nearby. His name was Kevin De Bruyne, and long before the world knew it, football had found its quietest genius. Kevin was born on June 28, 1991, into a family that was grounded, disciplined, and unassuming. His mother, Anna, had spent much of her life in Africa, a detail often overlooked but deeply woven into Kevin's upbringing. She taught him not just self-discipline, but empathy and perspective. His father, Herwig, was a man of numbers and order, always working, always calculating. Kevin grew up between logic and patience, between structure and solitude. He didn't need constant attention, nor did he seek it. From an early age, he seemed to live more inside his own head than in the world around him. His obsession with football was immediate, not just the thrill of scoring goals, but the movements, the patterns, the angles. He could sit for hours watching games, not cheering, not yelling, just studying. When other children were improvising with emotion, Kevin was analyzing with precision. He wasn't trying to play football, he was trying to understand it. By age 6, he was enrolled in a local team. The coach quickly noticed something strange about him. Kevin didn't run like the other boys. He moved efficiently. His touches were deliberate. His passing unnaturally precise. He rarely celebrated. He simply turned and moved back into position, as if already thinking of the next step. At age 10, he transferred to Ghent, and at 14, he made the life-changing move to Genk's prestigious youth academy. That meant leaving his family and living with a host family. The transition was harsh. Kevin was shy, stoic, and intensely focused. His new guardians mistook it for arrogance. When Genk officials informed him that the family had asked to stop hosting him, they said something that would change his life forever. They said, "You're not likable." Kevin didn't cry. He didn't argue. But he remembered. "I had done nothing wrong," he would later say. "But from that day, I decided that if they didn't like me, I would make them respect me. Through football. Through performance." And he did. Within 2 years, he broke into Genk's senior squad. Still a teenager, he orchestrated attacks with the maturity of a veteran. He didn't just create chances, he engineered them. While others chased the ball, Kevin manipulated the entire pitch. His passing range was already elite. He began collecting assists like others collected goals. His eyes, sharp, cold, calculating, never missed a movement. By 2011, he led Genk to the Belgian title. The Premier League soon came calling. Chelsea saw a gem in the making and signed him in 2012. But London would not be kind. At Stamford Bridge, he was benched. Not because he lacked talent, he dazzled in training, but because he didn't fit the manager's template. Jose Mourinho, then in charge, favored power, charisma, and established names. Kevin, quiet and clinical, didn't scream for attention. He simply performed. But Mourinho didn't see it. After just a few appearances, De Bruyne was benched, then loaned, then discarded. "I trained hard," Kevin recalled, "but it was clear I wasn't going to be trusted. So I left." He joined Wolfsburg in Germany, a move many interpreted as a step down. But Kevin didn't care about perception. He wanted minutes. And in Germany, He didn't just play, he dominated. In the 2014-15 season, De Bruyne registered 28 assists in all competitions. That number was unheard of. It wasn't just the quantity, it was the quality. Passes with spin and swerve, crosses from the half space, through balls threaded between impossible angles. Bundesliga defenders couldn't stop him. Commentators ran out of adjectives. Teammates called him a machine. Opponents simply stared, baffled. Manchester City took notice. In 2015, they signed him for a then-record £55 million. English pundits scoffed. Chelsea reject, unproven in the Premier League. But City knew better, and so did Kevin. He arrived with a chip on his shoulder and a playbook in his mind. Immediately, he became City's heartbeat. Under Manuel Pellegrini and later Pep Guardiola, De Bruyne transformed from a world-class midfielder to a generational one. Guardiola didn't just trust Kevin, he built his system around him. Kevin was no longer a traditional number 10. He was a hybrid, an 8, a 10 when needed. He played as if seeing the pitch from above. His vision was supernatural. His right foot, capable of whipping crosses, hammering long-range goals, and dropping passes onto a blade of grass, became one of the most feared weapons in football. And yet, he remained silent. No Instagram antics, no viral dances, just match after match of dominance. He didn't crave cameras, he craved control. Between 2017 and 2023, Kevin led City through their golden era. They shattered records, 100 points, 4 Premier League titles, domestic trebles, and finally, in 2023, the elusive Champions League trophy. Kevin had delivered everything he was told he couldn't. But his journey wasn't without pain. In the 2021 Champions League final against Chelsea, the very club that had tossed him aside, Kevin collided with Antonio Rudiger and fractured his orbital bone. His eye swelled shut. His cheekbone fractured. Tears streamed as he left the pitch. Not because of the injury, but because he couldn't finish the fight. City lost that night, and Kevin once again was forced to suffer silently. But he returned. He always did. 2022 brought another heartbreak, the World Cup with Belgium, a so-called golden generation undone by internal fractures, poor tactics, and exhaustion. Kevin, aged 31, bore the weight of expectation for an entire nation. He didn't explode, he didn't blame. He simply admitted, "We're too old." Such honesty, rare in football, defined him. Then came redemption. In 2023, Manchester City, led by a ruthless squad of warriors and choreographed by De Bruyne, conquered Europe. Kevin's passes dismantled Real Madrid in the semi-final. His through ball to Bernardo Silva became the assist of the year. And though injury struck him again in the final, this time forcing him off early, the mission had already been accomplished. City lifted the Champions League trophy. Kevin, in a hoodie, from the sidelines, smiled faintly. Not because it was the happiest moment of his life, but because it was the final answer to every doubt, every rejection, every coach who said he wasn't likable or wasn't enough. Today, Kevin De Bruyne is considered one of the greatest midfielders to ever play the game. Statistically, few can rival his output. Tactically, he rewrote the midfielder's role. Emotionally, he became the poster child for silent excellence, for those who lead without shouting. Off the pitch, he remains grounded. Married to Michelle Lacrosse, father of 3 children, he lives quietly, without scandal, without spectacle. He is a father, a teammate, a leader. He plays padel, he reads, he studies opponents, he reflects. His teammates speak of him in hushed awe. He'll play a pass you didn't even know was possible, says Erling Haaland. He doesn't just see things early, he sees things that don't exist yet. For the new generation, De Bruyne isn't a meme or a trend. He's a masterclass, a reminder that you don't need to scream to be heard, that precision outlives flair, that intelligence is power. When he finally retires, it won't be with a grand farewell tour or teary monologues. It'll be quiet, professional, and perfect.